Yes, Pankaj Meshram ji. Yes, namaskar.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Namo Buddhaya, Jai Him, sir.
Yes. Now, can I keep it like this or go back to the normal one?
No, sir. This is good. Whatever you feel is okay.
Please, kindly.
Yeah.
So I am an archaeologist. I am not a techno-savvy. Oh, I can do in this fashion only.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes. Whatever works is good, sir.
So is it my positioning is okay for you, sir? Sitting that is the level of the camera.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we can see the camera. If you can make it little lower, that would be nice. But otherwise, it's all good. Yes, yes. Like that is good, sir. Now. So, Namo Buddhaya. I welcome all to our weekly Dhamma sessions. This week, we are going to run a two-part series. Our topic for the two-part series is going to be Buddhist sites and monuments in Andhra Pradesh. That would be part 1. And next week, we are going to go with the same topic, Buddhist sites and monuments in Telangana. And that would be our part 2. And for both of these two parts, our speaker is Dr. Sivanagi Reddy. I just wanted to introduce Dr. Reddy to all of you, those who have not seen his earlier videos that we had done with Anna session. So Sivanagi Reddy Imani underwent a 4-year training in traditional sculpture and architecture at Tirupati, took Master of Arts in Ancient Indian History, Culture and Archaeology from Osmania University, awarded the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in History from Hyderabad Central University. He joined government service in 1978 in the Department of Archaeology and Museums, Government of Andhra Pradesh. Successfully transplanted more than 100 historical temples and built more than 100 new temples all over Andhra Pradesh as per the Shilpa and Agama Shastras. Participate in many archaeological excavations and took up conservation of select Kakatiya temples in Telangana. He was conferred with the title Vastu Silpa Vachaspati by Padma Shri Dr. V. Ganapati Istapati. Received highest award Kala Ratna from Government of Andhra Pradesh in 2019. Worked as director at the National Institute of Tourism and Hospitality Management, Gachibowli, and after his retirement in 2013, joined as director, State Gallery of Art, Madhapur, Hyderabad, and in Andhra Pradesh TDC as OSD, that is Arts and Culture, officer on special duty, holding all additional charge Silparams, Andhra Pradesh. Dr. Reddy wrote and edited many books, more than 100 books and 500 plus articles on history, culture, archaeology, Buddhism, and tourism. Currently, he is working as CEO Pleach India Foundation, formerly the Culture Center of Vijayawada and Amravati, established Mahalakshmi Group of Companies. So very high profile personality working in archaeological field. And we have this topic today that is going to be on the archaeology side of it. So our topic is Buddhist sites and monuments in Andhra Pradesh. This is part 1. So with that, I wanted to invite Dr. Sivanagi Reddy to please start the lecture, sir. Dr. Reddy, for you.
Good morning, sir. I am privileged having been introduced by such a great personality, and I again feel it is a great chance for me to be on this particular forum to speak my little knowledge that I gained over a period of time since I was working in Department of Archaeology and participated in explorations, identifying sites, excavating sites, conserving sites, then establishing museums. In this sense, it is though through this long list of activities attached to my professional duties, I could gain a little knowledge apart from the literature that is already made available by both British scholars and native scholars. So I humbly thank all of them who have given me an opportunity to know something about Buddhism, its advent, spread, and decline in this part of the country. And my salutations to Bhagavan Buddha, Namo Buddhaya, because of the wonderful gospel of the Buddha. At the moment, the world is envisaged with peace and bliss. I think you all will agree with me. It is not a religion and it doesn't advocate for conversions. It is just a way of scientific life that was proven by experience. And the Buddha also says in Kalama Sutta that if you are convinced of the Dhamma, then follow. Don't follow it blindly. Like how a goldsmith tests whether the gold piece is original or not. Similarly, you don't simply take that it was told by the Buddha, but put it to test and experience it. And don't believe that which doesn't come into the range of human experience. What a wonderful message. And he gave freedom of thought. He gave that freedom of thought. No other philosopher, no other what we call a really spiritual leader has given. They simply say that follow, don't question like that. Na? So this is the greatness of such a great personality who was considered, who is considered, who is the light of Asia, not only Asia, the light of the world. This is my humble submission to all of you, my dear sirs and ma'ams. If I will be skipping over at one moment or the other, please don't misunderstand me. This is only a thing. We have a very long journey. Hereafter, after these two lectures, I would like to request the organizers to have exclusive talks on individual sites or Buddhist art in this part of the country, architecture, inscriptions. A lot of information is there in the inscriptions, and we will never go to, we don't want to go into that what to call technical jargon, etc., which confuses people. No, very simply. For example, one inscription says that Ashtadasha Avenikas. What is that? Very simply, we will go and refer to the terms and terminologies found in Buddhist inscriptions of Andhra Pradesh. We have 501 Buddhist inscriptions, right from the Prakrit language, the hybrid Prakrit and Sanskrit language, then Sanskrit language, and the Telugu Kannada language, followed by Telugu language. So we have 501 Buddhist inscriptions in both the states. So we have plethora of information on Buddhist philosophy. We have got those 6 jewels, which India can boast of Buddhist philosophers. Among those 6, we have 4 from Andhra Pradesh. So it is not that we are overclaiming, but it is a fact. It is a fact that we have our video for one. Then that is the thing. Yes. Now I will exactly start my talk. Yes, as I thanked the pioneering archaeologists and British administrators. There are more than 303 Buddhist sites in both the states, 303 so far documented, enlisted, and preserved, conserved by Archaeological Survey of India and the state departments of archaeology and museums. Now, among the 303, around 50 to 60 sites are made presentable to the visitors, in the sense that soon after the excavations are over, the structures were conserved and made presentable. There are minimum facilities. and people can go just have a glance of Buddhist structures, how an arama looks like. Because at the moment, Buddhism is not a religious faith here and not a living faith here. In spite of that, you can visualize how Buddhist monks and acharyas live in a monastery. What was their daily routine and what were the different structures function for, like that. Yes. Now, Colonel Colin Mackenzie, who was Surveyor General of Government of India, the then British government, visited for the first time as a chance Dhanyakataka, which by that time just named as Amaravati in 1796. We will go into details. Then at Dhanyakataka Amaravati, there was a stupa, and there were a lot of that stupa was actually being excavated by a local chief, and he could notice that there were antiquities. They never knew that they belonged to a Buddhist stupa, but simultaneously continued by Walter Elliot in 1845. By that time, it was known as Buddhist site. So it took nearly 50 years to know Dhanyakataka Amravati as a Buddhist site. Otherwise, it was an ancient site. Followed by Walter Elliot, James Ferguson, Boswell in 1870, Robert Sewell in 1875, Alexander Ray in 1893, Longhurst in 1920s and 10s and 20s, followed by good number of British scholars in pre-independent period and post-Indian period. Native scholars have excavated good number of sites and laid bare wonderful evidence as far as Buddhist sites of Andhra Pradesh is concerned. Now you can see this is the map of undivided Andhra Pradesh. I have spotted only 54. There are 303 put together, but these are the prominent ones that people can go. Now I want to just give a very brief account on advent and spread of Buddha's Dhamma in this part of the country. Yes, it was during the lifetime of the Buddha. It is not just an exaggeration. It was mentioned in the contemporary literature and followed by good number of inscriptions and support of Asoka. And after that, during the pre-Satavahana, Satavahana, Ikshvaku, and many number of dynasties that really encouraged Buddhism to flourish. During the lifetime of the Buddha, yes, it is very interesting. You go to undivided Andhra Pradesh, it is necessary. Division happened only in the recent past of 7-8 years, 9 years back only. But there was one sage, when Buddha was at Sravasti, there was one sage by name Bavari. He dispatches his disciples there to know about the Buddha's Dhamma. And one of the disciples came back and again, what we call informed that the Buddha's Dhamma is so profound, so useful, so nice. Then the saint also became a Buddhist. That was the very first instance during the lifetime of the Buddha. It reached the Andhra country or the Telangana country. Then Asaka country was there. During those days, this part Andhra Pradesh was not known, Andhras were known, but the locality, geographical locality was known as Asaka Janapada. Asaka Janapada. It is a small republican state by the name Asaka, and there was a king, and that king also got ordinated by Mahakachayana, the chief disciple of the Buddha. These two are mentioned in Mahavagga. It is very interesting. Bavari's story was mentioned in Parayana Vagga of the Suttanipata. These are authentic references. After that, Mahavansha mentions that Asoka dispatched what we call, Mahavagga mentions that there were monasteries of the Andhaka monks, that is Andhra monks, at Sravasti and Rajagaha. These clearly give us this thing. After Mahaparinibbana of the Buddha, we all know that there was a war for distribution. At the time of distribution of relics, there was a war. Then a Brahmin sage by name Dona distributes among the 8 republican states. Then finally, what happens was a very interesting thing happened that Buddha's holy tooth relic reaches Andhra country. That is Kalinga, the northernmost part of Andhra Pradesh, where there is a place called near Srikakulam, the district headquarters. There is a place, that place name is Dantapura. Dant means tooth. Dantapura means where the holy relic of Lord Buddha was enshrined in a stupa. After that also there was a war between Pataliputra and Dantapura. Then the tooth also was for safe custody sent to Sri Lanka, where now it is in Kandy. Now we all know that. Then after that, what happened? You know that the third council convened by Asoka the Great, he dispatches many number of theras or staviras to different parts of the world, in the sense of Jambudvipa and beyond. Then in the process, one Mahadeva Thera was dispatched to the coastal Andhra, which was the then known as Mahishamandala, and it was the Buddhism gained ground in this part of the country. Plus, Asoka has Asoka has extended his support for Buddhism to flourish here, and the Rock Edict number 13 says that the Andhras are already under the fold of the Dhamma. It clearly mentions one of his inscriptions. And at Dhanyakataka, excavations revealed that there was a stupa before Asoka, and Asoka has enlarged and encased with beautiful railing all around, and that railing is with Mauryan polish, and we have got a Mauryan label inscriptions, clearly proves that by the time of Asoka, Andhra was under the fold of Buddhism and slowly started gaining ground. There were many number of stupas, Dhanyakataka, Bhattiprolu, Salihundam, Dantapuram, many number of things. And we have all the inscriptions, edicts of Asoka at one place called Erragudi. So this is the story followed by, and it continued up to 14th century AD, where there were many historical landmarks in the history of Buddhism. Now, yes, now the Buddhism in Andhra, like elsewhere, developed in three phases. Andhra Pradesh witnessed the development of Buddhism in three phases. We all know that Theravada Buddhism, that is up to 1st century AD, from the lifetime of the Buddha in Andhra, a phase of Buddhism known as Theravada, that is the group of monks, they follow what the Buddha taught. We know what the Buddha taught was a book by Rahul Valpola. What a wonderful book it is. It is, and now even still like that. They don't deviate, they don't even comment, they simply follow the Buddha Vachana as it is. And that is known as Theravada. We are also having a great scholar by name Buddha Ghosha, a great systematizer of the Theravada literature, and who wrote Visuddhi Magga on highlighting Sila, Samadhi, and Panna. It's interesting that Buddha Ghosha from Andhra country was invited by the Sri Lanka, and he translated Tripitakas into Sinhala, and he was elected as Sanghanayaka in Sri Lanka. There is a great privilege for the Andhra country, and thanks to the munificence and wide heart of Sri Lanka. Though it is a small country, what happens? Even a small man can have a big heart. So this is very interesting. After that, the next phase is Acharya Nagarjuna. Why I am referring to him is Acharya Nagarjuna is such a greatest personality, considered to be one among the six jewels of the Buddhist philosophers of India. He hailed from this particular part of the country. Then he contributed a lot. According to Lama Taranada, who wrote the history of Buddhism in India, has mentioned that it was under the direct supervision of Acharya Nagarjuna. The Dhanyakataka Mahastupa was enlarged, encased, beautified under the direct supervision of Acharya Nagarjuna during the lifetime of Gautamiputra Shatakarni, the Satavahana emperor, who was ruling from Dhanyakataka. Then the Gautamiputra Shatakarni was again was said that he was ruling the entire southern peninsula. That is the case. And Acharya Nagarjuna, we all know that he stayed maximum part of his life at Dhanyakataka and Nagarjuna Konda, a hill which was named after him, even still cherishes the memory of the treading over of the land by Acharya Nagarjuna, who wrote, composed Suruleka, Ratnavali, Prajna Paramita Hridaya Shastra, Moola Madhyamika Karika, Setustava, and Vigraha Vyavartani, Sunyata, Saptati, what not. Such a beautiful Buddhist literature on philosophical insights of Sunyavada and Madhyamika, which were propounded by Lord Buddha, have been very, very interestingly handed over to all of us. Such a great personality lived here. The next end, Mahayana, as I said earlier, Theravada flourished from the lifetime of the Buddha up to the 1st century AD in both the states, particularly in Andhra. Then the next phase is called the Mahayana phase. What Mahayana is, that this particular phase in which Buddhism was considered to be carrying many number of, in the sense it is a greater vehicle in which the practitioner or the what to call the Buddhist who wants to get relief from the cycle of death and birth and death, that is Nibbana, not only for him, he prays to for nirvana of other living beings also. So the base of Nibbana is widened here. Hence, it is known as Mahayana. And in Mahayana, you all know that Siddhartha Gautama, who was the Buddha, the enlightened one, was considered as not a human being, not a historical person. Though he is a historical person, he was considered as a Lokottara, a great man, in the sense he is the great among the people born on this loka. Hence, he was deified in the sense his image was for the first time conceived in human form in Gandhara region, in central Indian Mathura region, and in this part of the country, Amravati region. And you all know that the great three Indian art schools flourished during the early centuries of Christian era in India. Among these three, Amaravati School of Art is considered as the most dynamic with three-dimensional insights into it. So the Mahayana continued up to 4th, 5th century AD on a very, very, very higher tides. And after that also it continued. But there was a new current. Again, advent of a new current changed the origins of the Buddhism in Andhra and other parts of the country also. This is known as Vajrayana or Mantrayana or Tantrayana. What is it? It is that in a shortcut time, no need to take the whole lifetime to achieve Nibbana, but there is a shortcut method. They have given us a very shortcut method for attaining Nibbana. And we all know that Buddha Shakyamuni manifested in the form of Kalachakra or wheel of the time, who gave teachings of Tantra, that is Anuttara Yoga Tantra, that is higher level of Tantra, two Buddhas and Bodhisattvas set up Dhanyakataka, which Manjusri Molakalpa mentions it. So like that, and Buddha, it is said that Buddha set the wheel of Dhamma for the third time at Dhanyakataka, and it is the place where Vajrayana was originated at Dhanyakataka, according to some scholars. This is just an introduction now. Let me go into the details of the sites. The history of Buddhism or spread of Buddhism, I will deal with what we call through sites only, so that you will be introduced on various sites, their magnificence in terms of art and architecture, then the philosophical affiliation with which the philosophers are also associated. Yes, this is what I have mentioned is Dantapura, a wonderful place. But what happens is the entire Buddhist site is located in 1,500 acres, 1,500 acres. Then, thing is that we have selected a spot where excavated in 1992 and followed by up to 10 years, and we could locate 5 stupas where the original tooth relic was enshrined. And there was a beautiful story on how this tooth relic reached Sri Lanka. That is mentioned in Dalada Vamsa of the Sri Lankan Chronicle and in many books also. Then here what happened was we could notice only 5 because we tapped little extent of land only, and now it is under the private ownership, and government has to take up a large scale excavations where we get Dantapura was considered Puram. You also know that Pura is denotes a huge habitation of people, and the entire 1500 acres is enclosed by a huge mud rampart followed by a deep moat. So it denotes that it served as the capital city of the Kalinga country during 4th century BC. This is very interesting. And these are some of the antiquities that we recovered from the excavations, which really clearly proves that the site was in existence at least as early as 5th century BC, and again continued over a period of time. We could get northern block polished ware, knobbed ware, which attests the fact that it has got connections with Magadha region. Yes, as I mentioned earlier, the great Asoka the Great, such a great man, Dhammaraja. He is known as Dhammaraja, Dhammasoka. Such a great personality that the Jambu Dvipa, which was known as India, Nona, and Jambu Dvipa is the entire peninsular India. Ka naam was Jambu Dvipa. It was only Kalinga Karavela who gave for the first time in inscriptions Bharatavarsha, first time. After that only, India was mentioned as Bharatakanda, Bharatavarsha, Meror, Dakshina Digbage, like that in the Sankalpas of the Brahmins. The name was changed because they don't want Buddhism, because Buddha never advocated the existence of Creator God. Please concentrate on yourself. And Buddhism is one such great religion which centers around the mankind and living beings, their welfare, not what we call the superstitions. Yes, now coming back to Dhanika, Asoka the Great, along with erecting or what we call proclaiming the Buddha's Dhamma or his own proclamations and edicts. We have got in Andhra Pradesh 13 such edicts, both big edicts and small edicts. This is a place called Yerragudi, very close to Guntakal railway station. So whenever you are in this part of the country, go visit it, or I will follow you to interpret what was mentioned in these inscriptions. It is in Prakrit of the 3rd century BC. Then the language is Prakrit, and script is known as Brahmi. Sometimes it is written from right to left, some left to right also. Yes, he is great, Asoka the Great. My salutations to such a great personality, Dhammasoka. This is a figure, a sculpture, which we very recently, in this sense, some 25 years back, recovered and retrieved from the excavations conducted at Kanaganahalli in Karnataka, the neighboring state of Telangana. Yes, such a great personality has extended the Dhanikatika Stupa, and we all know that we also recovered this small, on the right side, you find a small pillar inscription of the Asoka at Amaravati Stupa. Yes, this is at the bottom. You find a incision or a drawing, a sketch of a stupa, and again decorated with flowers and flags. On this side, you have got a tree. The tree is none other than the Bodhi tree, under which the Siddhartha Gautama became the Buddha. He came as Siddhartha and gone as the Buddha under this tree. And this tree was venerated with a railing, so that it was so pious for the people. We call it as Bodhi Vruksha Prasada. Prasada is a shrine. Bodhi Vruksha Prasada. This is very interesting. Many of the inscriptions mention it. Now, you can see that Guntupalli, there is a place near Elur in Andhra Pradesh that 3rd century BC, there were excavations in the living rock that they were delineated. They so beautifully excavated such a wonderful caves. Yes, you can see the cliff of the rock was fashioned into a cave structure, and those cave structures, if you enter, you come across a huge viharas, and then there is a stupa inside, and that stupa was the most venerated thing during those days, and it is dated to 3rd century BC, not sorry AD, it is 3rd century BC. So this is on par with that Loma Rishi cave, which the grandson of Asoka, Dasarada, was excavated at Nagarjuna Hill near Bodh Gaya. So what I mean to say is, these are the evidences that prove that Buddhism was in existence in continuously, it was the religion or the what we call the faith of the people. And what were these caves meant for? Do you know? From 2nd August, Buddhists throughout the world, what we call maintain or participate in the rainy retreat known as Vasa Vasa. The Buddha said, if the rain starts, the season starts, he says, oh, my dear monks, don't go or don't walk on the, don't take any walks, because your treadings may cause harm to the living beings, the living organism that comes with the rains. So confined only to one place. And these monks were confined under the trees, in the caverns, etc. But the donors came, no, you are great people. Why can't you spend your rainy retreat in caves? So this necessitated to rock cut caves. Like that, these caves are there. This is 3rd century BC. Yes, you can now see the next, the second one is ceiling of a stupa chaitya inside the cave, and this is the entrance of the cave, 3rd century BC. There are again stupa chaityas. Inside there is a stupa, and outside there is a chaitya. It is circular on plan. This again dated to 3rd century BC, but renovated during the 2nd century AD, during the Satavahana phase. Yes, you can go and see good number of stupas, votive stupas. If I visit this Guntupalli or this particular part, I also want to give some money to the local masons. Please erect a small stupa to commemorate my visit. These are known as votive stupas. Yes, that is a practice coming from down from what we call Jetavana Vihara of the Buddha's time. These are some of the things, the antiquities recovered from Guntupalli excavation, and these all prove that we are not telling lies. This is a historical fact. Yes, this is again, yes. Now, one more site is very interesting, is that Bhattiprolu. Bhattiprolu is very close to Tenali on the coastal track. And here, the interesting aspect was, when Asoka was ruling from Pataliputra in Magadha, here one local chieftain by name Raja Kubiraka was ruling, and he was a strong Buddhist. He is following his master Asoka, and he beautifully built a very big stupa and enshrined with the holy relics of Lord Buddha, and with the participation of huge gathering, among which a woman also came from present-day Punjab state to witness the what we call celebration of consecrating holy relics. It was mentioned in the one of the relic casket inscriptions of Bhattiprolu. It is very interesting. Can you notice? This is the biggest relic casket so far found in entire Indian context, and it was recovered as early as 1870s, followed by 1900s. And even in 1973, we got some evidences from that thing. And all these relic caskets, which are inscribed with Brahmi inscriptions, are now on display at Government Museum, Chennai. Please, my dear sirs and ma'am, whenever you are in Chennai, please visit Chennai Museum. There is a gallery called Amaravati Gallery, in which you can also see they are kept on display. Yes, these are the things how you can notice how these are what we call black granite stones, huge in size, 3 feet by 3 feet and 1.5 feet height. So big, na relic casket, holy relic casket. Yes, within those things, the archaeologists could recover crystal relic caskets in the shape of stupa. Within that crystal casket, the holy relic of Lord Buddha, alongside coral reef, golden leaves, semi-precious stones, all were put together inside and venerated, enshrined for safety, and hence it is known as Mahastopa, Bhattiprolu. Now this is Dhanyakataka, and in Dhanyakataka, Amaravati also we have got 10 relic caskets of crystal, gold, silver, everything, and you can see at the bottom left side, you can see the golden leaves, etc. Though it means that what happens is people give such a great respect to the Buddha Dhamma, and after that his holy relics, and after that his message, after that the Tripitakas. Now Tripitakas are there. Buddha is there in each and every letter of Tripitaka. Now consider holy lyrics are to be very, 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 very precious to what to call South monks coming from Southeast Asian countries. Yes, we have seen Dhanyakataka Mahastupa in ruins now, only up to 1 meter height. But how it looks, it is very interesting that most of the, as mentioned earlier, Acharya Nagarjuna decorated the stupa at Dhanyakataka with beautiful sculptures. And these sculptures are recovered from the site and they were shipmented or sent to Chennai Government Museum because it was under their control. They wanted to display in museums. We shall not misunderstand Britishers that they have removed and these things. And some are sent to British Museum, London. Now, what to call room number 33 in British Museum, London, is the Amaravati Gallery. So beautifully, they are preserving it. And every day, thousands of people are looking at the wonderful Amaravati School of Art in British Museum, London. Yes, this now, I would like to take one moment that this stupa looks like this, semi-spherical. Buddha said that anicca. What is anicca? If you take a bowl and then in a bigger bowl filled with water, then take some water and pour in it, it emerges small bubbles. One bubble is bigger, another is small, and it will smash, it will disappear. So Buddha said, anicca, anatta, dukkha, the three important aspects of Buddhism, and stupa, embodiment of Buddha's Dhamma, after passing away of the great Lord, is one aspect. The other aspect is it also symbolizes that, my dear fellow, why are you developing that selfishness, hoarding things? You forever can't confining to your own self. No, you are also temporary, anicca. Then it also gives a message that anicca. Then it is decorated with beautiful sculptures all around that disseminates knowledge and the life of Siddhartha Gautama, his previous lives as Jataka tales and contemporary life, which really, unless until these sculptures are there, we cannot estimate, visualize how the stupa looks like, and then what the people's practice of Dhamma was there. This is again one more Buddha in preaching posture, Buddha in standing posture. On the top, you have got that 5 pillars. At the center of the stupa, above the Buddha's image, is that they denote the life of Siddhartha Gautama as the birth, then the Mahavinishkamana, then Mahasambodhi, then Dhammacakkapavatana, then passing away of the Buddha Mahaparinirvana. On either side at the gate, you find 2 lines. That those 2 squatting lines are considered as Shakyasimha, Siddhartha. Next, yes, and Britishers have conjectured during the days, during the wonderful days, during first 2000 years old ago, Amaravati Stupa looks like this. Such a beautiful, highest. One of the inscriptions says that Stupam Atyunnatam Nana Chitra Suchitritam. What a wonderful saying. It is 1182 inscription in Sanskrit, available at Amaraiswara temple at Amaravati. It says that Stupam Atyunnatam. Oh, what a grandeur and majesty the stupa at Dhanyakataka was. Yatra Nana Chitra Suchitritam. Oh, the entire stupa was embedded with beautiful sculptures in each and every inch of its surface. The railing, everything, the dome, the drum, everything. So this is thing. Yes, these are some of the Buddhist railings. The railings, you all know that it will be on outside periphery. Inside, you go take a parikrama all around. Then these are the uprights and in between things. And it takes, when we speak about the Buddhist art, I can give more details on these things. Kindly bear with me. And this is actually wonderful. 3 feet by 3 feet diameter. What a wonderful within that small thing. And a holy relic casket is being worshipped by the Devas, particularly Nagalokas and the people. Such a great veneration we can see. People involved in what to call involved in preserving the Dhamma, propagating the Dhamma. They made it into their lifestyle. They made it into culture of the period. That is the what to call the golden epoch of the Andhras in history 2000 years ago. Yes, there are sculptures, what you call is narratives. In small narrative of 1 foot 9 inches, you can find Maya Devi dreaming. Then again, she is giving birth to Siddhartha, and other things is forecasting the Siddhartha's birth. And here, some of the panels, you can notice Siddhartha is just moving away from his house, Kapilavastu, just in search of truth. And he encounters those 4 nimittas. And prior to that is a scene that his father doesn't want him to lose forever, and he wanted to keep him in good moods. And he was never liked the passionate world. And you can notice that his father Suddhodana got beautiful young woman from 16 Janapadas and arranged wonderful party on that night, and thinking that my son will be here with all these pleasures. And he said, it is immaterial, it is anicca, it is temporary. No, I'm not interested in all these things. I'm interested only in searching of a final, penultimate truth that really gives a way for removing, eradicating suffering, pervading all over. That was his mission. That was his diamond decision. That is his Vajra Sankalp. So that he moved from his palace and known as Mahavi Nishkramana. Yes, beautiful sculptures embedded, what we call endowed with Mahapurusha Lakshanas are also recovered from Dhanyakataka Stupa. You see, what a beautiful stupa. And here there are many number of stupa panels are there now erected in British Museum, London. And this is again the Theravada phase of Buddhist art. Not even Siddhartha is shown in human form. Only the horse is moving out from the Kapilavastu palace, and Chenna, his charioteer, is seen. Siddhartha is not seen, but Siddhartha is seen. There is a parasol. You can notice, na? That is Siddhartha. He is spiritual emperor, like that. Yes, he is in human form, Mahayana phase, Theravada phase, and Mahayana phase. There is a long story according to Lalita Vistara. Yes, again of the Mahayana, a wonderful thing. I will quickly move from here. This is only one thing. Yes, Buddha comes to Kapilavastu after, on the request of his father after 7 years of his departure. Then he came, Yasodhara, his wife, asked his son Rahula, please go and ask your father for inheritance. Rahula goes, my dear father, please bestow me the inheritance from you. Then he says, he calls the monks, yes, clean shave him and take him to the order. Then Rahula was taken to order as a novice monk. And the story again is there, and you can see many things, beautiful art pieces from Dhanyakataka. Buddhapada is a wonderful, venerable thing, endowed with 8 auspicious symbols on it. It is now in British Museum, London. Many are there. Yes, this is the beautiful bull. It is not an ordinary bull. Siddhartha is one of the epithets of Siddhartha is Sakya Vrushabha. Such a beautiful bull figure was also recovered. And at Dhanyakataka, you all know that it continued and it received a serious setback after the Ikshvakus. Pallavas, Vishnukundans were staunch Brahmanites, and they never encouraged it. All the structures became ruins, and it was described in one song who came from China. And he says that there are 100 temples, but some are in ruins. And Acharya Nagarjuna, Suhru, Lekha, and Ratnavali were taught to the students in schools as non-detailed texts. to infuse morale in the young blood. Yes, Vajrayana phase, many number of things are there, followed by Vajrayana sculptures, which means that Dhanyakatka continued to strive among the anti-tides of the Brahmanical faith. It continued to flourish up to 8th century AD. Yes, one of the Buddhist pillars was taken from the stupa and erected inside the temple, now considered and worshipped as Amareshwara temple. No, nothing to speak about ill of it. It is what you call the testimony of the time. Time has its own journey. So we should never misunderstand. Yes, we should take historical facts as it is, and we should never antagonize anybody, as Buddha said. Yes, this is one of the inscriptions of 1184 in Amareshwara temple. You see on the top, you find Buddha image. So it means that up to 12th century AD, Buddhism and Saivism flourished side by side at Dhanyakataka and Amaravati. This is a great evidence. After that, very interesting thing, I think one or two Sri Lankan monks and participants from Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka is a holy Sri Lanka. I call it as holy Sri Lanka. Still, Buddha's Dhamma is upheld by each and every individual, not only in the monasteries, not only in the cave temples, not only at Anuradhapura, Polonnaruwa, Dambulla, no. Everywhere, every inch of Sri Lanka is resonated with the Dhamma of the Buddha, and they are thanking Asoka for dispatching his son and daughter for spreading Buddha's Dhamma. And this is the place where, known as Gadaladiniya in Sri Lanka, very interesting piece of historical information comes to this part of the country is that Stavira, by name Dharmakirti, he wanted to visit Dhanyakataka. And there was quite the frequent visits from Sri Lanka to Andhra and Andhra to Sri Lanka. There were historical many accounts. There was a Sri Lankan connection at Nagarjunakonda where you have got Singala Vihara, etc. And one monk by name Dharmakirti visited in 1344 to Dhanyakataka. What happened? He saw, I came with a great hope that the stupa is in good flourishing state. It is in good under good decoration of Buddha's flags, etc. But it was in ruins. And he, with his own money, he renovated the two-storied shrine of the Buddha at Dhanyakataka. This is mentioned in an inscription at Gadaladeniya in Sri Lanka. And this is the last evidence that we come across on the flourishing state of Buddhism, either at Amaravati or in Andhra Pradesh, 1344. Next is that you have got many sites in coastal Andhra, namely Bavikonda, Totlakonda, Pavralakonda, where huge extensive Buddhist viharas flourished in pre-Christian centuries and continued after up to 3rd century AD. And these are the sites that even still now you can go and visit when you are in Visakhapatnam. I also participated in these excursions. And for your interesting thing, at Bavikonda, there is a site very close to Visakhapatnam on the coast. We recovered holy relics of Lord Buddha. They are now kept in the State Museum at Hyderabad. It is a stone casket. In the stone casket, we got terracotta, and the terracotta, we got a silver. In the silver, we got all the 6 golden caskets. So that is the respect that Buddha's Dhamma. And another site is Salihundam in Srikakulam, which flourished from 3rd century BC to 12th century AD. Such a beautiful spot on the hilltop. Yes, this is the entire monastery there. So beautiful, serene, calm, and beautiful. Stupas, Chaityas, and next to it is the river Vamsadhara. And yes, very interesting thing is that this site also, like Amaravati, witnessed all the 3 phases, Theravada, Mahayana, and Vajrayana. These are some of the things you know that Buddha in Amitabha, Maitreyanatha, then Vajratara, then you also have got Marichi. So these are some of the Vajrayana Buddhist and divinities and sculptures that we got. Oh, this is beautiful. You can see that the influence of the Kalinga, because North Coastal Andhra was considered as part of the Kalinga country. You know, Trikalinga, that is 3 Kalingas. One is Northern Kalinga, Utkal, and Madhya Kalinga, Dakshina Kalinga. All 3 are there. Then this is sad state of affairs is that the remains of the Buddhist stupa was used as foundation for a Hindu shrine because of ignorance. They really do not know. The locals thought that there is a place elevated, already built, foundations are there. Why can't we appropriate? It was not intentionally done without knowing the fact that there lies a stupa. And I also participated in excavating the stupa in 2002. Yes, and this is Kalinga Nagara. Kalinga Patna was also known as Kalinga Nagara. It was located in Srikakulam district on the coast, which acted as a what we call lighthouse. And from here, there were contacts to Sri Lanka, Myanmar, and etc. So beautiful. Now, the one which you are seeing is ruins of the 3rd century AD, but from 4th century BC onwards, there are remains. And one more hill site in the same part, Srikakulam, Vijayanagaram, is Ramatitham. The name is changed. It is a Buddhist site, Sangharama, but it is named as Ramatitha, and the Hindu name it was took. And you see, these are testimonials to say that this is a Buddhist site. And Totlakonda is there where rock cut systems of huge Buddhist establishment is there near Visakhapatnam, and some structures are conserved. Now people can go and see and visualize how Buddhist structures were there in ancient past around 2000 years. We recovered Buddha Padas and then coins of the Satavahanas there. And one more site near Bhimanipatnam is that on the hill, 14 acres of site, so beautifully done. And here, it is very interesting, my dear participants, that to know that these are stupas, rock-cut stupas, fashioned into stupas to pay respect towards Dhamma. But the local people worship it as Sivalingas. Very interesting. And you can see, on Sivaratri, thousands of people visit Buddha thinking that it is Shiva. And this beautiful Sangharama is there on the this thing. This is in a Kapavaram rock cut caves. We have rock cut caves, brick built structures, stone built structures, and this is Ghantasala, very close again to Vijayawada. And these two sculptures are in Louvre Museum, Paris. And you see, wherever you go, most of the museums, in Musée Guimet, you have got, then again in Metropolitan Museum, an exhibition is now on, wonderful exhibition of Buddhist sculptures and artifacts. Now, 11 Buddhist artifacts from Andhra and Telangana are now on display. They will again be moved to Seoul. And Jagaipeta, again very close to Vijayawada, there is a Buddhist site where this is known as Chakravarti, a symbolification of Chakravarti. Buddha says that Chakravarti, Dhamma Chakravarti, Dasaraja Dharma, what a wonderful polity he has given. That is, yes, we have got the biggest stupa in entire South India at Chandavaram in Prakasam district. Now, there is a bridge across Gundlakama River. Earlier, it was very difficult to approach it, and excavations revealed the existence of Theravada phase, Mahayana phase. It is very interesting. A huge extensive vihara is located on the hilltop, and this is the biggest available intact. Yes, again a sad state of affairs at the same place that Buddhist panels that were used to encase the great stupa at Chandavaram, they were removed and used to construct as basement for a Mahabaleshwara Shiva temple there. What can we do? The ignorance is pervading, omnipresent. Ignorance is omnipresent. So Buddha said that remove ignorance, avidya. You remove avidya, become Vivek, then only you can live a comfortable life. But even still now, we say that we are advanced in technology, we are so developed, we are highly civilized. Is it the way that a civilized society can do, removing Buddhist panels and using as foundations for a Saivite stupa? I went there, since it is the local people, they said that how can we dismantle a Shiva temple? Then how did you dismantle a Mahastupa? Sorry. Yes, there are many stupas in Rayalaseema, only one lonely site in Rayalaseema, because Rayalaseema is known for Venkateswara, Lord Venkateswara shrine worldwide. But at the same time, we have got beautiful stupa at a place called Nandaluru, beautiful on river Cheyeru. And yes, Annamacharya, almost in the US, Annamacharya is very famous because He composed 32,000 kirtanas praising Lord Venkateswara at Tirupati. Then his native place is known as Tallapaka. He is known as Tallapaka Annamacharya. Can you notice that we excavated a Buddhist site there? Annamacharya lived in 15th century, but 1500 years prior to that, his native place was a Buddhist site. It is only just education. We have nothing to disagree, etc. There is again a Buddhist very close. Naganatha Nikona is there in Rayalaseema. Buddhist Buddhapada is there 3rd century AD. Rajampet and again Nagarjanakonda, you all know nothing to say. This is single Vihara. On one side Stupa Chaitya, on another side Buddha Chaitya. Then the colossal 9 feet 3 inches wonderful Buddha, actually as if it is cast. The peace is cast, not bronze cast. Peace, serene, calm atmosphere, bliss is cast into a limestone image of the Buddha at Nagarjunakonda Island Museum. Yes, there are beautiful images of Buddha, Siddhartha Gautama, his life story, and relic caskets were recovered from Nagarjunakonda. And you also have a site at Aduru in East Godavari district. And in entire Indian context, we have got what we call the 4-storied rock cut caves, only one place. This is also Buddhist at Vijayawada, very close to Vijayawada on the right bank of River Krishna. Again, another sad state of affairs is that you can see Nietzsche, a beautiful image of a lengthy image of Sesha Shaina is there now. They call it as Ananta Shaina. No, it was originally Buddha in Mahaparinirvana. They have added only that serpent at his head. Yes, as I go for such exploration, I could notice many number of new sites throughout. All these are new, not reported earlier. Yes, underneath the Narasimha temple, we come across a Buddhist stupa. What I mean, yes, that Tripurantakam is the greatest pilgrimage center of Saivites and Shaktites. Tripurantakam in Prakasam district, when they were digging for foundation to construct a gopura at the entrance, all of a sudden we noticed Buddhist stupas. And in villages, we have got to be like this, thrown uncared. In the premises of a cattle shed, it is there. And these are some of the things in Nellore. You all know that Sriharikota is rocket launching station in Andhra Pradesh. Yes, very close. If you travel to Sriharikota, you come across this beautiful Buddha sculpture. This is again at Sullurpeta. Yes, to conclude my talk, I mean to say that Buddhism reached this part of the country during the lifetime of the Buddha, took Philip with the patronage of Asoka, then again Satvahana, Ikshvaku, Salankayanas, Eastern Janga, like that it continued up to 14th century AD. After that, what happened was, the ship was wrecked by other religious faiths with the ignorant ideologies, and most of the ignorant people also become prey for it. Then finally, it was away from Andhra Pradesh. One of the greatest poets of modern Andhra, Gurujada Parao, says that we have exported Buddhism to other countries and imported terrorism into this country. I'm sorry to say that. And one of the inscriptions says, Sarva Sattvanam Nikila Dukhopasemanam Ye Buddha Dhamma. It is the Buddhist Dhamma that eliminates all pervading suffering from all the living beings. Thank you, one and all.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. What a wonderful talk, sir. And
No, sir. Sir,
we are grateful for your time, sir. And thank you very much for
no.
sharing this great information with us.
I am extremely grateful to you. I am kindly send me through my WhatsApp 1 or 2 clippings while I was speaking, if you have taken already, because yes, I could take one or two just for my record.
Yes, sir. We will do that, sir. Thank you very much. Wonderful.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, I know you wanted to leave at 8, but
no problem. I can stay for 10 more minutes, and I can go very fast speed to reach Mahabub Nagar. No problem. It is a wonderful route. I will take, no problem. 10 minutes we can, if any respectable participant wants little clarification from this ignorant man, I am open.
Well, thank you very much, sir. We are open for a question and answer. Please raise your hand. We will allow you to unmute and ask your question. Yeah, if there is any question, please raise your hand. We will allow you to unmute. Yes, Sunil Patil. Yes, Sunil, sir, please go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to make a comment. Thank you so much, sir. It was a great talk. It was like, we were like going through the time. It was very good. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. I'm sorry for my, what you call, I am so speed in my expression. I think it may be causing inconvenience for people who are quite calm, serene in their, what we call, contemplating meditation. I really spoiled your calmness by my speed.
It was great, sir. It was great.
No, it was very clear and great, sir. Thank you so much. Chala baga chepparandi. Thank you.
మీరు తెలుగు వాళ్ళ హాయిగా ఉంది పాటలు అంటే మీరు కర్ణాటక
లేదు నేను నాకు తెలుగు వచ్చండి మరాఠీయే తెలుగు వచ్చు
చాలా సంతోషం
యా థ్యాంక్ యూ అండి
థ్యాంక్ యూ
One
Oppo F2 F21
yes please go ahead and Oppo F21 please go ahead and unmute yourself. Go ahead with
sir. Jai Bhim, sir. Thank you. This is Parag from Tamil Nadu.
வணக்கம் எனக்கு சில கொஞ்சம் தமிழ் தெரியும் நான் தமிழ்ல பேசுவேன் அப்புறம் நான் புத்திசமின் தமிழ்நாடு தமிழ்ல தான் பேசுவேன் அப்புறம்
சரிங்க சார் எனக்கு என்னன்னா ஆந்திராவுக்கும் தமிழ்நாடுக்குமான புத்திஸ்ட் கனெக்ஷன்ஸ்
நிறைய இருக்குதாங்க எதுக்கன்னா முதல்ல நீங்க yes I will switch over to English. So there is a wonderful connection between Tamil Nadu and Andhra because it was known as during pre-Christian centuries era, it was known as Tamilakam and ours is Andhra. And there was a coastal contacts through water, inland also. And Buddha image now in Chennai Museum, now at Nagapatnam, now at what we call Kanchi. We have got Amaravati school Buddha images as it is made in limestone from Dhanikataka. They are there available in this thing. And what happens is, do you know, sir, Pallavas, when they made their capital, Andhra Nagare, Pallava Rajadhaniyam. It was mentioned in one of the Manchikallu inscription of Simha Vishnu, Pallava. It mentions that they made their capital city, Andhra Nagari, that is Dhanikataka. And from there they moved to Mahabalipuram. From there they settled at Kanchi. So this is that connection, one connection. After that, what happens is, many of the Buddhist monks used to come here and again exchange of Buddhist ideologies between these two. At Nagapatnam, there are Andhra monks stayed even up to 12th century AD because during Rajaraja Chola and his grandson again Rajaraja, it was one part. He is known as his grandson was known as Kulotunga Chola, who ruled both the countries, being a Telugu man. Then there was a connection. Similarly, there are many incidents that can be cited on this occasion that Buddhism is the only connecting point between Tamil Nadu and Andhra, only connecting point between Andhra and Sri Lanka, Elam, and again many other things. This is the Dhamma is the connecting, and Buddha says that Dhamma is the plank that which really takes you to the other shore. Thank you.
Thank you.
Your next question is coming from Dala sir. Dala sir, please go ahead and unmute yourself.
Can you hear me?
Dallas are from Dallas?
కాదండి నేను చిత్తూరు అండి తిరుపతి దగ్గర నాది
వెరీ గుడ్ ఎవరు
సార్ మహాభాగ్యం సార్ మీ స్పీచ్ వినడం నేను ఒక కపుల్ ఆఫ్ ఇయర్స్ బ్యాక్ తమిళ హెరిటేజ్ లో మీరు ఒక స్పీచ్ ఇచ్చారు సార్ అది చాలా బాగుండే కానీ నా అదృష్టం ఇప్పుడు లైవ్ గా చూస్తున్నాను సార్ చాలా థ్యాంక్ యూ నా జన్మ ధన్యమైంది సార్ సార్ మీరు ఎంత గొప్ప వాళ్ళో ప్రపంచానికి తెలియకపోదు సార్ నాకు తెలుసు సార్ మీరు ఎంత సేవ చేశారు బుద్ధిజం కోసం గ్రేట్ వర్క్ సార్ గ్రేట్ వర్క్
I am thankful to Pankaj ji and I am thankful to Sheetal madam because they gave me a platform, an opportunity.
Sir, coming to the question, because we have got the new state now, in what way in what way I can contribute to develop Buddhism in our Andhra Pradesh?
Yes, sir. One thing, sir. What we call is Buddhism gave the world self-discipline. If I am disciplined while traveling, we are contributing to the world. If we really follow Panchasila, not taking intoxicating drinks and misbehaving, not
Great.
taking which is not given, not telling lies which causes suffering to others, again, not having illegal, otherwise unchaste character. If we follow, we means I follow. If everyone follows Panchasila, that is the greatest contribution for the society as for enunciated by the Buddha. That is
Great.
enough. No need to give money for monasteries. Please, self-discipline. That discipline is Vinaya. That Vinaya is enunciated by the Buddha. Enough, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Great, sir. Great. Thank you.
And your last question would be coming from Sachin Mandale. Please go ahead.
Jai Bhim, Namo Buddhaya, sir.
Namo Buddhaya, sir. Namo Buddhaya, Jai Bhim.
Actually, I just wanted to thank you for this nice session. You have given a wonderful information about all the Buddhist sites in Andhra Pradesh. That's such a great thing, and would like to appreciate as well, because people like you and all the people who have joined early in the morning, although they might have had another assignments in the morning, but yes, if we come together and search out such things, so it could be a very beneficial for other people as well, and it could help the spread of Buddhism across the country. Actually,
Yes,
I am from
good suggestion, sir. Meshramji and ma'am also said the same thing in the beginning, that we begin with Andhra, we move to Telangana, then Tamil Nadu, then Maharashtra, because the composition of the participants are from different parts of India. Then we will definitely have, sir. It is a series as long as it continues, and we will have just half an hour talk in each and every state. I have got enough material. And sharing was the Buddha confined. He thought that, oh, what a wonderful, profound knowledge that I gained. What shall I do? People will never understand. Then Brahma Sahampati approaches him that, my dear Buddha, please disseminate knowledge for the benefit of the many. Bahujana Sukhaya, Bahujana Hitaya, Lokanukampaya. Then Buddha started giving the message to the many. Similarly, I am just citing that great example, but in a very little way, I can also contribute to spread the Dhamma through Buddhist sites and monuments spread across India. That is the only connecting point. If I say Amaravati, people will connect. If I say Ajanta, people will connect. If I say Ratnagiri, Laltagiri in Orissa, people will connect. If I say Nagapatnam in Chennai, they will connect. Like that, what happens is hundreds of Buddhist sites are there, but they are not popularly known. So this platform, I think, will allow me to speak at least half an hour for each talk, 10 minutes for, like that we can do, sir. Very simple. Afterwards, we can go and I will give you one or two examples of the books on my talk, so that people can PDFs, etc. They can, during the leisure or during their flights, read it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yes, sir. I'm going further. Would like to request you, if you publish such book, and if it's coming in a book thing like nothing, it will be nothing like that. People will definitely demand for that. Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Some Swaraj Ravi Prasad, sir, is there.
Sir, please go ahead. Ravi Prasad Swaraj, sir.
Hello, sir.
Sir, namaskar.
Sir, namaste, sir. Wonderful note.
Thank
sir,
you.
Sir, I have a doubt.
Sir.
Only 3 sites for the reason for Parivaraja, or any other reasons are there, sir? Only 3 sites?
Where, sir?
Sir, Gautam Buddha, sir, I will ask in Telugu. Sir, మొదట గౌతమ్ బుద్ధుడు ఇంటి నుండి వెళ్ళిపోవడానికి ఓన్లీ 3 సంఘటనలే అని చెప్తారు కదా మామూలుగా.
4
4 సంఘటనలు మామూలుగా చెప్తా ఉంటారు. అదేనా రీజన్? ఇంకా వేరే రీజన్స్ ఏమైనా ఉన్నాయా సార్?
అంటే అసలు ఒక్క మాట సార్, నేను వెరీ సింపుల్ గా అంటే ఇక్కడ ఏమైందంటే వీ హ్యావ్ టు అగైన్ సైట్ దట్ డాక్టర్ బిఆర్ అంబేద్కర్ హ్యాస్ సెడ్ దట్ ద రోహిణి ఈవెంట్ ఆల్సో, the Rohini district of the distribution of the waters of Rohini is pronunciated by Baba Sahib Ambedkar. That is also to be taken into consideration. But my humble submission to the August gathering here is that Buddha is not a human being. It is a system. It is a parampar. Buddha Vamsa is there where 28 Buddha, lineage of 28 Buddhas are there. Similarly, what happens is each and every Kalpa or every epoch, there arises a Buddha to guide the society which is leaderless, which is a teacher. That is a belief that we have got. Similarly, what happens is the historical Buddha, and Siddhartha Gautama becomes the historical Buddha, is the 7th one. Manushi Buddhas means 7th one. And the 8th Manushi Buddha will come, Maitreyanada. This is again what Buddhists believe. My is that since Siddhartha Gautama was born on the request of Deepankara, and that is, you all know that how Maya Devi has a dream, then white elephant, and how it born. Since his childhood, he was inclined to know something beyond the physical world. When Suddhodana was Yervaka, that is the first flowing ceremony, Siddhartha sat under a tree and contemplating meditation and visualizing what is happening, even as a small boy. This is not exaggeration, because the Buddhas, all the Buddhas got enlightenment under a tree. The entire process is there, one and the same for all those things. So what I mean to say is, since the childhood, Siddhartha was read like any, brought up like any other small kid, but he was totally different. He was inclined to distinguish between these disparities in the name of color, in the name of caste, in the name of rich, in the name of poor. Why we are killing mercilessly thousands of animals, birds, fish, etc.? Is it not harming to others? If we can cut our hand, no. If we cut our hand, we pain, we say Amma bolke. If we kill a chicken, it cannot say Amma in our own mother language, so that we are not hearing it. Like that, Buddha has inclination. Siddhartha Gautama has an inclination towards the well-being of all the living beings. And those 4 factors, Chatur Nimittani, Sapta, that is, he sees, he encounters a old man, encounters a mendicant, encounters a sick man. Like that, what happens is they triggered the factors for him and prompted him, no, it is the time for you to depart from the worldly, passionate, pleasure world. Go, search for the truth. Everybody is suffering. That is the root cause. And we can discuss it separately, sir, separately.
Very much, sir. So
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
So those were all the questions, sir. Dalaji has raised hand, but we are kind of 5 minutes over anyway. Do you want to take this last question, sir, from Dalaji?
Kindly.
Yes, Dalaji, please go ahead and unmute yourself, sir.
No, it's not a question. The Ravi sir is my best friend. He's doing his doctoral thesis on Buddhism. So I just want to inform to everyone. Like myself and Ravi sir and Venkatesh, another friend in other call, like he's watching through WhatsApp. We 3 started a vihar in our village too. I just want to inform to the group. That's all. Thank you. Jay.
Thank you, Dalaji. Yeah, thank you very much. That's a good information. With that, I wanted to thank Dr. Sivanagi Reddy for his time today. He has been gracious enough to give us this extra time. Part 2, next week, we'll be talking about Buddhist monuments and sites and monuments in Telangana. So please join us there next week. I also have a couple of announcements to do. But sir, Reddy sir, if you wanted to leave, sir, please go ahead, sir. We are grateful to you, sir. We will see you again next week, sir. Yeah. Namo Buddhaya, sir. Yes, sir. We'll see you again, sir. Yeah. Thank you very much, sir. Yeah. Okay, so I just have a couple of more announcements to do. So these are related to the continuous daily Paritta chanting that we are doing as part of the Vassa period. And we started this with Asar Full Moon Day, and that daily chanting is also continuing. And you can participate in this chanting. You can even select some suttas to be recited during this time, and you can give your names and join us every day there. It's a 1 hour session. It starts every day at 8 p.m. in the evening. We don't have that session for tomorrow, but we are starting on Monday, and tomorrow everybody would be doing the chanting at their own places. This in the chat window, you would see a WhatsApp group invite link. Please go ahead and join us, and you will get all these updates there. And I have one more update, which is for our online Vihara that happens at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time in US. So that becomes 9:30 p.m. India time tomorrow. And that's 8:30 p.m. India time. And tomorrow we have Bhante Dr. Chandrakirti, and he's going to talk about importance of Dana, Sila, Bhavna. So another very great session we have lined up. We are trying to do as many Dhamma sessions and lectures as possible, and kind of trying to get the information to everybody as much as. So please go ahead and use that WhatsApp link that we have put into the chat box here. If you go to our YouTube channel and watch this video again, we would also put our WhatsApp link there too for you to join if you cannot join or see the link right now. With that, part 2 of the same series would be conducted next week, same time. Again, we are very grateful to Dr. Sivanagi Reddy for his time and the wonderful talk that he has given. It just makes us feel that such a small portion within Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, or previous Andhra Pradesh, has 303 sites, and they are just going up and up, counting and still increasing in the number. And we know once all of India used to be a Buddhist nation. So anywhere you dig up, that's what you're going to find. It's just Buddha land. And Buddha is where what you're going to find is Buddha only. So with that, we wanted to conclude our today's session. We wish again to see you tomorrow on our online Vihara at 8:30 p.m. and to hear Bhante Dr. Chandrakirti from India, and topic would be Dana, Sila, Bhavna. And then we also wish to see you every day on our Paritta Path, daily Paritta chanting that will be concluded or continued till this 4 months of Vassa period, this year being a one additional month. Swaraj Ravi Prasad sir, please go ahead with your question or comment. You raised your hand, sir. Okay, yeah. So with that, we have posted that link again to join the WhatsApp group. We will see you tomorrow at our online Vihara at 8:30 p.m. India time, 11 a.m. 10 a.m. actually, that's when the Vihara actually starts. Bhante Dr. Chandrakirti's lecture would start at 11. So please join us there tomorrow, and we will share that link. We will share that link on the WhatsApp group. It starts Sunday, 8:30 p.m. We will see you again next week to continue on this topic. Buddhist Sites and Monuments in Telangana by Dr. Sivanagi Reddy. So please do join us for the part 2 of that series. Until we meet again, Namo Buddhaya to all.